talk about, this is an important thing that I think either kids that are trying to play college or people that are at college now is when you play at a talented school like Utah, where you've got a lot
Yeah.
of guys that can play and you're battling for playing time and stuff like that,
Right.
you got to stay ready because, like
Yeah.
you said, you never know when your name's going to be called, whether to be put in the starting lineup, whether to
Right.
be the sixth man,
Right.
whether your role for that game is you're only going to play 5 to 10 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
What are some things that you do to stay ready no matter what the team has asked you to do? Because there's been times this season, like you said, like there were times when you came off the bench and you played maybe 10 minutes. There were
Yeah.
times when you started. You're starting now. So like
Right.
maybe some advice or maybe some things you've done to make sure that you're always ready when that opportunity comes.
Yeah, I think, a lot of it, I mean, obviously starts with like the work you put in, but I think that can only go so much. It's a lot in your head, you just gotta people don't realize how important it is. I think it's starting to obviously become more of a mainstream thing is like the mindset of like meditation and stuff like that and just being in the moment. And I think that's something I've really taken this year, just like making the most of like the moment I'm in and just being ready and just like the confidence I have now is a lot more than I maybe had last year. And that's probably part of the reason I struggle at Cincinnati. And yeah, I think I just worked a lot harder on the mind. So I think that's something that's really helped me this year. And yeah, just staying consistent with the work, but also just being confident and being in the moment, up in the old headspace. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's something
Yeah.
that's really changed for me. So
Yeah. I mean, mental toughness
yeah,
is just as important or even more important at
yeah,
this
for
level than
sure.
physical toughness.
Yeah,
Um, and confidence and things like that, those are things you have to you
yeah,
have to consistently work on those things. And so I remember like when I was a player, um, it's easy to get down on yourself
for sure.
when you're not playing as much as you'd like, or you're not shooting the ball as well as you'd like,
Right.
or things like that. And you have to work on that mentally to get out of that. And you have to continue
Yeah,
to ask. The way that I would get over it is I'd have to continue to ask myself, what can I give to the team? I had to take my mind off myself for a
yeah,
second. It's like, hey, I may only be playing 5 minutes this game, but what else can I give to the team? I can give energy
for
on the
sure.
bench. And then when I'm in those 5 minutes, I can do the things that require no talent. I can have perfect effort, perfect
Yeah,
communication. Um, I can shift my perspective of what success is. I may not get five shots when I'm in there. So I got to get rebounds. I got to guard my guy, not let him score, things like that.
yeah,
And those things go a long way. And I'm sure you've noticed this because this wasn't a lesson I learned until I started playing college, because high school is kind of a different story when you got the
yeah,
ball in your hand every play.
yeah,
Um, but the game of basketball rewards you as you go and try to do the right thing. So I remember like I was in a moment where I wasn't in the biggest role.
yeah.
And I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to go in. I'm just going to try to get every rebound I can get.
Hmm.
And I went in one game against Oregon at home. I think it was my sophomore year. And I just got my first three defense possessions. I got 3 rebounds.
Yeah,
Um, and then later on in the game, I was able to hit some big time shots to put us
yeah,
in a position to win. And I just learned this lesson is like, I feel like my mindset of trying to go and do something to help the team, I then was rewarded with like individual success.
yeah, for sure. I mean, that's like, yeah, something that's really become prevalent to me is like, you know, uh, as somebody who, I think we both are probably offensive minded, but like you put so much time into that part of your game, and when you get in the game, you just kind of gotta let that part of your game just kind of happen, and then control like the things you control. Like, defensively, that's probably not something I was always really known as a defender in high school or anything like that. But that's something that I've kind of realized is, that's something you have a lot of control over is because it's just a lot of the effort and something that started to make a lot of sense is like off ball position and stuff like that. So yeah, just kind of like controlling the things that you can control and then letting the other piece just kind of happen because you put so much time into that part of it. So yeah, I think I think you really hit the nail on the head there. Is just kind of controlling those things that just like the effort piece of it. So